You know, it always fascinates me how enraptured I am of the human behavior. How badly drawn I am, wanting to know more about these species. How we live, laugh, love, point fingers, betray, repay, try, lie, and eventually die. No exceptions. The death of an idea. Clara Dao. Let's just get into it.
No, I'm not a hater. You're beautiful, but at the same time, I'm just someone on the internet who's disappointed in you and grieved the loss that majority of everyone else feels. I've genuinely admired you. You made me feel okay in a world that constantly tells people like me we're not enough.
Now pay attention to the phrasing of this comment. Grieve the loss that majority of everyone else feels. I genuinely admired you. You made me feel okay in a world that constantly tells people like me we're not enough. All of these pointing back to one thing. Pay attention now.
You helped me feel comfortable in my own body, and now, because of what you did.
To her own body, might I add, might I remind you, to her own person.
I don't even know how to feel about myself anymore.
Just let that sink in for a second. They're so attached to the idea of what Clara represents to them, they have no concept of what to do with themselves when that fantasy is broken.
You didn't just make a personal choice. You sent a message that everything you preach was conditional. You became exactly what you claim to stand against. And that's not just disappointing, it's heartbreaking. You built your platform off being real, relatable, and rejecting toxic beauty standards. You gained the trust of people who saw themselves in you, and then you threw it all away.
So her body and what she does with it is no longer a personal choice. The reins of her life are no longer in her possession and is no longer in her rights to manipulate as she sees fit. It's in the hands of her beloved audience, who loves the idea of her so much. You built a platform of being real and relatable, rejecting toxic beauty standards. So this person saw her as real, relatable, and rejecting toxic beauty standards. Don't forget, this is all projecting.
This isn't grout.
Their opinion.
This isn't self-love.
Their opinion.
This is selling out.
Also their opinion. This is the projection of this stranger based on their life experience and what they've come to value. Then they go on to say,
You can be happy with your decision, but don't ignore the damage it's done to the people who believed in you, the people you inspired, the ones who saw you as a light in a world obsessed with impossible standards. You failed us, and I hope, at the very least, you sit with that. I understand it's your body and your money and your decision. It made you obviously satisfied with something you saw as an issue from the beginning, even though you preached that you accepted it, accepted being different. But now it's hypocritical, and just that, going by what you preach from day one, just to switch over to the other side.
That's honestly not her problem. So, what now? This comment is a pure example of being in love with the idea of someone or something. This person was in love with the idea they had of Clara in their head, and now that she has butchered the image of herself that reinforces such an idea, they are no longer tolerant of her because she no longer serves a fantasy the people who supposedly believed in her created. It's certainly sad for this person. Their whole life has led to this moment. I don't know this person personally, but I can at least assume that they've lived a life that led them to develop body insecurities, and in a desperate attempt to counter their tortured soul, they and many others came across this human who presented a vision. From that vision comes forth the idea all who bears witness to her develops. However, people are not ideas. We are not dreams. We are beings. Beings as moldable as clay in an artist's grasp. And we change shape with every technique life hurls at us.
I'm not against getting work done. However, her entire thing was promoting a common insecurity, especially for young girls. Imagine seeing the same person who helped you overcome an insecurity go and do work on the insecurity they were always posting about. I'd be so devastated. I doubt her intention is to throw others under the bus. But by getting work done on her chest when that was her entire brand for 6 years, is her basically saying she wasn't happy with a flat chest. In other words, she's indirectly promoting getting surgery to hurt mostly young audience.
Okay, first off, I agree with the I'd be so devastated because my goal here is not to invalidate how you feel, but to show you a different POV, basically. So, yeah, I agree that anyone would feel bad if something or someone they look up to, right, would switch up on them. But I just have to ask, where are the mothers? Where are the fathers? Alright, where are the sisters? Where are the brothers? Where are the uncles? Where are the aunts? What the actual fuck do you mean she's indirectly promoting surgery to her mostly young audience? Like the actual one. So, girly living her life the way she sees fit is indirectly promoting surgery now? Okay, not only that, why are we out here asking influencers, businesses, by the way, to parent other people's children? Huh? Plus, this is something bugging me for honestly quite some time now. Why are we acting like influencers are negligent parents, either ignoring or promoting bad topics to their children? Influencers are no better than businesses because they are businesses, and no better than politicians because they're human. Besides, I keep seeing comments talking about the younger audience. Like, bitch, be so for real right now. You don't give one shit, much less two shits, about them damn kids or younger audience. While you're sleeping in your comfy bed, I'm assuming, by the way, while making that post, the younger audience are being exploited, toxified, and promoted much, in my opinion, worse ideologies. Yet you still sleeping. You don't care. I don't care. Your mama don't care. And Clara definitely doesn't care. It's a dog eat dog world out here, bitch. And the kids were born in it. So what parents need to do is teach their children how to survive in such a dystopian society, honestly. And stop asking businesses to do so and then be shocked when the kids become collateral. Just for some additional thoughts as well, because we're wrapping it up now. I just find it very ironic when people say Clara is like toxic or an awful person, because just like the thing I showed you earlier, the kids who literally, because I'm just assuming they have to be kids, I don't know, but basically the people who were rejoicing, who basically only came back just to see her following or subscriber count fall. I just find it very ironic because while people are saying that she's awful and that she is a terrible person, they're out here not being much better either. Yeah, all in all, they're not much better, but it's not like I personally expected them to be. After all, they are humans. And I definitely don't expect anything much from humans. But also, what I also have to say is she she is a person, and no one's gonna stay in one thing forever. People expect her to stay in a single group as a single thing, but it's not surprising that she would want to change, because as human beings we're not a character. We go through life and life shapes us into different people. So it's not that insane to me that now she's maybe struggling with identity or something like that, or going through a phase, or changing. Life is a journey. She is going to change, and it would be strange if she didn't. So, yeah, that's all I really have to say on that. And to finally put a nail in the coffin, I'm not saying you have to do as I say, but I'm just saying the next time you're out, the next time you pick up a book, the next time you look at your pet, the next time you feel the rain on your skin, the next time you laugh with your friends, the next time you meet a human, know this: you are not in love with them. You are in love with the idea of them. You are in love with the idea of them. that, I bid you farewell. Good night, my nocturnal creatures.